Emma's epic comeback. Watch her defy the odds and conquer the Masters in Wuhan. Flex biceps fire trophy crown. For a long, breathless moment, time seemed to stand still. Under the floodlights of the Optics Valley International Tennis Center, Emma Raducanu dropped her racket, covered her face, and let the tears fall freely. The scoreboard behind her flashed the final score, 4-6, 7-6, 9, 6-3, confirming what many had thought impossible. Emma Raducanu, the 22-year-old British star, once written off by critics, was now the 2025 Wuhan Masters champion. It wasn't just a victory. It was resurrection. The crowd, a roaring, waving sea of lights and flags, erupted into a chorus of cheers as Emma fell to her knees. She wasn't just celebrating a trophy. She was celebrating a comeback story that few believed could ever happen. The rise, the fall, the rebirth. 3 years ago, Emma Raducanu was on top of the world. At just 18, she had stormed to the 2021 U.S. Open without dropping a set, dazzling the world with her poise, power, and smile. Headlines crowned her the future of women's tennis. Sponsors flooded in. Her name became a brand. Then came the spiral. Injuries, inconsistency, coaching changes, one after another. The pressure of global fame collided with the fragile rhythm of youth. By 2023, Raducanu had undergone 3 surgeries, wrist, ankle, and hand. Her ranking plummeted outside the top 200. The same media that once called her unstoppable began using words like lost, broken, and burnout. It felt like the world had moved on, she said quietly during her Wuhan press conference. And maybe I thought it should. But something inside her refused to surrender. In late 2024, she returned to the tour, quietly, patiently, without the noise. Her team was smaller, her mindset sharper. She wasn't chasing validation anymore. She was chasing freedom. This comeback was about peace, not points, she told BBC Sport. I wanted to remember why I loved tennis in the first place. The road to Wuhan. Raducanu arrived in Wuhan, unseated and largely overlooked. She had lost early in Beijing, her ranking hovering around number 72. Few expected much, but something felt different. Her first round win over Karolina Muchova was routine. 6-2, 6-3, efficient and composed. Then came the upset of the week, a 6-4, 4-6, 7-5 victory over world number 4 Elena Rybakina. It was the first time in nearly 2 years that Emma had beaten a top 5 player. She looked fearless, Rybakina admitted afterward, like someone who had nothing left to lose, and that's the most dangerous kind of opponent. Raducanu followed it up with victories over Qin Wenjing and An Jabeur, each time showing more resilience, more calm, and more spark. By the time she reached the final, the arena was packed, thousands of Chinese fans waving Union Jacks, chanting her name in perfect rhythm. Yemame, Yemame, Yemame. The final, Raducanu versus Sabalenka. Her opponent was none other than Aryna Sabalenka, the Belarusian powerhouse and world number 2, known for her thundering serves and relentless aggression. On paper, it was a mismatch. Sabalenka had already won 3 titles that season and had crushed her previous opponents in Wuhan without dropping a set. Raducanu, meanwhile, had already played 4 grueling matches in 6 days. But matches aren't played on paper. From the opening game, it was clear that this wouldn't be easy for either woman. Sabalenka's serve exploded off the court, reaching 123 miles per hour. Raducanu absorbed them with surgical precision, redirecting pace, mixing slices, and countering with clean, compact ground strokes. Still, Sabalenka's power proved too much early on. She took the first set 6-4, breaking Emma twice with heavy forehands that painted the lines. During the changeover, Emma sat in her chair, eyes closed, breathing slowly. Her coach, Sebastian Sachs, leaned in and whispered, "Stay patient. Play your game. It's your storm. Make her feel it." She nodded, and then the tide began to turn. The turning point. In the second set, Emma found her rhythm. She started reading Sabalenka's serve, stepping inside the baseline, using angles and variation. Her defensive mastery began to frustrate the Belarusian, whose unforced errors began to pile up. At 5-4, Raducanu served for the set, but nerves betrayed her. 3 double faults later, the game was gone. The set reached a tiebreak, a war of willpower that had the entire stadium holding its breath. At 7-8, Sabalenka earned a championship point. The rally stretched 21 shots, forehand, backhand, cross-court, slice. Finally, Emma pulled off the shot of her life, a one-handed running backhand lob that floated over Sabalenka's head and dropped inches inside the baseline. The crowd exploded. Emma clenched her fist and screamed, "Come on." 2 points later, she sealed the tiebreak 11-9, collapsing into a smile of disbelief. Game on. The final set, fire and faith. The third set wasn't tennis. It was theater. Raducanu's movement was poetry in motion, her timing immaculate. Every point was a mini battle, Sabalenka hammering away, Emma countering with grace and grit. At 2-2, she broke serve with a passing shot so perfect it drew applause even from her opponent. By 5-3, the energy inside the arena felt electric. Every fan was on their feet. The chants grew louder. Cameras flashed like stars. Emma stepped up to serve for the championship. Her first serve clipped the net cord. Fault. She smiled nervously, then steadied her breath. The next serve was wide. An ace. The crowd erupted. She followed with a forehand winner. Then a long rally that ended with Sabalenka sending a forehand long. Triple championship point. The moment felt cinematic. Emma bounced the ball 3 times, looked skyward, and whispered something under her breath. Then she delivered. A deep serve, a cross-court backhand, one final rally. Sabalenka's return caught the tape and dropped back on her side. Game. Set. Match. Emma Raducanu, champion of Wuhan. The tears, the triumph, the truth. The moment the ball fell, Emma collapsed onto the court. Her hands trembled. Tears streamed down her face as the crowd roared. Sabalenka walked over, smiled, and pulled her up for a long embrace. "You earned this," Sabalenka whispered. "Don't ever doubt it again." At the trophy ceremony, Emma's voice cracked as she spoke to the crowd. "I can't believe I'm standing here. A year ago, I wasn't sure I'd ever play pain-free again. There were days I couldn't even hold a racket. But tonight, this feels like magic." It told every young athlete struggling through injury, doubt, or pressure that the comeback is always possible. It reminded fans that behind every headline is a human story, one of pain, patience, and perseverance. And it reintroduced Emma Raducanu not as the teenage prodigy of 2021, but as a grown woman of 2025, battle-tested, reborn, and radiant. "Winning the U.S. Open changed my life," she said. "But winning Wuhan changed me." Epilogue, the walk home. After the ceremony, as most of the crowd filtered out, Emma stayed on the court, alone barefoot, holding her trophy. She walked slowly to the baseline, where she had served match point, and stood there quietly. The lights dimmed. The arena fell silent. She closed her eyes, smiled, and whispered, "We're back." Then she lifted the trophy one last time, not in triumph, but in gratitude, before disappearing into the tunnel, ready for whatever came next. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.